Okay, I don't know about you, but it kind of snuck up on me. It's Balloon Race Week.
Yeah, it did not sneak up on me. It's been very much on the top of my mind for quite a while.
So, I guess you guys start planning for this when last year's was over, right?
Yes. Immediately we start. The last meeting of the fiscal year is in July, and then August we start the new fiscal year. And so July is closing out the event, and August is starting a new one.
So, this year, what can people expect?
Well, we are returning to our regular schedule for the Great Texas Balloon Race. After 3 years of hosting the U.S. Nationals and having 6 days of flying, we are back to our normal schedule, which is 3 days of flying, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the festival on Friday and Saturday. So in a lot of ways, we're back to normal, but every year we try to add a little something to keep interest. And so this year we are adding a mass ascension on Saturday morning here at Mont Cobb Convention Center, and we're pretty excited about that. So all of our competing balloonists will launch from behind Mont Cobb, and so we'll have about 44 balloons all taking off at the same time. And also Saturday morning we will have the tethers open for business, so if you want to come early on Saturday you can get in line for the tether ride, and we'll also have all of our special shapes on site to entertain the kids on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of those,
Yeah.
5 new ones this year?
Yes.
Wow.
5 new ones, and you're going to put me on the spot. I would have to go to our website
To see which ones they
to
are.
claim them. Tiny the fire dog is back because he's been very, very popular. They always do a big event with him at the Longview Mall on Friday, and then we have 6 new ones. We can go here and look at them really quick. I'm really excited about. Did I just knock your camera? I'm sorry.
It's fun.
I'm really excited about the baby dino. Yay!
Oh, yeah. I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah, I saw him and he is totes adorable. And then Beachbound is a VW with the family vacation on it. Ducking Grateful and Yogi is a new one. And then
That's pretty much it.
No
Looks like.
Problema.
Ah.
And No Problema is being sponsored by Longview Ear, Nose, and Throat doctors. And they tell me on Friday morning there will be a live llama on site to go along with that. So
Well, yeah, typically they do a fluff and puff somewhere around town,
yes.
right?
So Friday morning, each of the special shapes appear at their sponsor locations. And then Saturday morning, they'll be here at Mont Cobb.
Okay. And then, get back to this mass ascension thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of unprecedented. I mean, pilots tend to take off pretty close to the same area anyway.
Yeah,
But-
but we never know where.
You have to find them.
Yeah.
Which is a big problem I have. Chasing those guys because, man, they're not talking to you. They are all business.
They're focused.
Yes.
They're focused. So this time we have just made, they will be competing, so they will be very focused. So they'll be very focused. They'll be, inflating very quickly and launching very quickly. But we've called this as a common launch point, so they all must launch from this spot.
Wow. Well, that's cool. And then I guess the targets will be put at the appropriate place.
Those are always determined the morning of. They look at wind conditions and wind speed and wind direction, and then they choose those targets every single morning. So it's a little inconvenient for the average viewer that we can't give them that information ahead of time, but we really can't.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like you got to pay attention and get up early
Yes.
if you want to get to a target,
Lock in, baby. You got to be committed.
But the target is the place to be because that's what everybody's trying to get to.
It's very exciting.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
So,
And you get to see how good these guys are at navigating these things without steering wheels.
yeah, I mean, it is insane how good they've gotten over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, because there used to be the key grab, right? Top of a pole,
Right.
a hoop,
Right.
but it was like everybody would get there.
So for a couple of years we did the ducks on the pond. So they had to drop a rubber ducky onto this little pond, which was very exciting. However, for the spectator, unless you were right there on top of it, you couldn't see if they hit it again. So this year we're bringing back the ring toss for the pole. And that's always exciting because there's a cash prize for that. So Friday there's a $5,000 cash prize, and Saturday there's another $5,000 cash prize. So every pilot who hits it will share among that $5,000. But there's a $5,000 pot for Friday and a separate $5,000 pot for Saturday. So that's always a very exciting target location to be at.
Well, as good as these guys are, they're each going to get $5.
Kind of depends on the wind that day.
I guess so. So yeah, and that was, you know, and I guess that's the way you used to do it after everybody was getting right to the pole. You know, I mean, has it surprised you that they've gotten so good over the years?
I guess I'm not really surprised because everything just changes and evolves. I'm not really surprised, but I am still amazed at how good they've gotten because, yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah, it just astounds me that so many of them get right there,
Yeah.
and it comes to inches.
And I'm also amazed at how good they've gotten at altitude control. They can now drop several hundred feet and almost stop on a dime to get where they want to go. And so there are all kinds of things about this thing that amaze me.
Yeah, and it's when did you first get involved with the Ballon?
2007, so this is my 19th year.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay.
So the tether rides we added a couple of years ago, and they've been very popular. Let me say this, everything is weather permitting. Some years we get disappointed one night or a night that we don't get to glow or we don't get to do the tethers because the wind or the rain won't let us. But anyway, the tether rides we added a couple of years ago. It's been very, very popular. The drone show we added in 2023, and that's been extremely popular for us. Of course, we also always have great music, and we have the Bill Bussey Balloon Glow. Every event all over the world does a glow now, and that started here in Longview in 1978, so we're very proud of that.
Yeah.
And that's the photo op. That is
yeah.
what every photographer comes to shoot, is
Yes.
the glow.
Most definitely, and 3-year-olds to be
Yes.
astonished.
Yes, yes, yes. And usually those 3-year-olds get handed up into the basket. They're really good about that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, yeah, the pilots are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really, really good time. What time do the gates open?
I think the gates open this year at 5. And the first music act goes on at 7:30. Then from then on, it's nonstop action. But we have tons of, we always have great food vendors. This year we are packed full of arts and crafts vendors as well. So you can get your shopping on while you're here.
Well, that's cool. Is
Yeah.
it going to be like a carnival?
We have Kids Land. We're not doing the carnival rides or anything like that, but we have Kids Land, which I think it's like $5 for kids to get in. They've got inflatables and a petting zoo and all sorts of things to entertain the kids.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right. So I guess just make sure it's on your calendar.
It better be. Yeah, it better be.
Anything you'd like to add?
So this is our 49th year, and so next year we'll be celebrating our 50th, and we're already making some big plans for that. That's going to be really exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I can't believe 50 years.
50 years.
And
yeah.
I'm sure Bill can't believe 50 years either.
You know, he had it planned all along. I think in 1978, Bill was planning the 50th.
Probably so. All right. Thanks a lot, Gabe.
Thank you.
So I guess this is the first day of setup, right?
We actually began moving stuff out here Saturday. We store it at the airport. That way, then we bring everything here, and then we just set up from here. And we will be putting up temporary fence, helping set up the tents, running water lines, setting up generators, light towers, getting everything set so that everyone can come in on Friday and have a good time.
But at this point, I guess you've done what's out here, pretty much.
Yes, sir, we have.
And so now it's hurry up and wait.
Yes. And everybody, all the other stuff will start showing up, hopefully by lunchtime, and we'll be rolling at high speed trying to keep caught up after that all the way until Friday at 4 o'clock. And then we can sit down and watch the show.
So what all will you be setting up exactly?
We have to set up areas for the tether balloon rides. We have to set up a designated area for the skydivers to land. We have to put out the ticket booths. set out generators, set out the light towers, get everything set up for kids land. Pretty much anything physical that gets done out here, we get to do it.
All right. And it sounds like you're sort of an old hand at this.
I got thrown into this when I first got employed with the county for this job 9 years ago, and I do it every year, and this is the highlight of my year. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun, and I get to work with a lot of interesting people.
Yeah, that's true. Your pilots are a very unique breed.
Yes, they are. And then the people that are doing the shows with the different acts that come in, it's amazing getting to meet some of the people that are already famous or are fixing to become famous. A couple of years ago, I got to reintroduce myself to Little Texas. I went to high school with a couple of them, and it was awesome getting to see them again after so many years.
You do have a bit of a history with the balloon race, don't you?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
Got to work at the very first one that Dr. Bussey did at Longview Mall. I was in a scout troop at the time, and we got voluntold to help with the traffic and parking. And after that, it kept growing and growing and growing. I got to attend several times out at the airport. And then when I went to work with the community service department, I got to help build everything out at the airport. Then we moved it in town, and it's closer. I don't have to drive so far, and this is an awesome venue for the balloon race. Everything out here, it's right here. Everything we need, everything works so well. And working with the city of Longview, they bend over backwards to make sure that we have everything we need.
That's very cool. Yeah, I was going to ask you what the differences were. I guess the number one thing would be the drive, so much closer.
Well, the airport, we had more room. Here, everything is more tightly bound together, but it also makes it a lot easier to set up. And when we were setting up at the airport, we had to put a 5-mile temporary fence up between the runways and the balloon race area so that nobody could get access to the runways during the balloon race. And not having to put that 5-mile stretch of fence up is wonderful. We don't miss it at all.
I bet. And you mentioned building a bridge.
There's a place behind the rodeo grounds that we will be using for a cart path, and the area, it works good for trucks, but it doesn't do well for the golf carts that we'll be using to move everything around once the people start showing up. So we have to be able to get through there without throwing everything off of the golf carts and bouncing the people out of the seats.
There you go. Very wise, I think. Okay. I don't know. Anything you want to add?
Don't believe I have anything else.
All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.